For this project, I started with two 8x8 canvases that I had painted with an iridescent medium, and then also drew two hearts on them. Then I took clear Elmer's glue and outlined each of the hearts with the clear Elmer's glue. Then I took a 4mm rhinestone chain and I went ahead and outlined each of the hearts with it, setting it right on top of the Elmer's glue. And everything that I use in this video I will link in the description below so that you'll know where to get it. Most everything you can get on Amazon. And then, because I'm making the birds, I put the line down the center of each of the hearts with the clear Elmer's glue, and then followed that line with the rhinestone chains. And these rhinestone chains are gorgeous. They sparkle so pretty. And then I took the Scrabble letters that say lovebirds, and I put a dot of Elmer's glue, clear Elmer's glue, behind each of them. And it's in your best interest to do this and then let it dry for about 12 hours. It should be good to go then. And then after about 12 hours, I came back with my glass. Now this is glass that I picked up at Michael's. It's the Ashland Decorative Filler. And this one is actually, looks like gold, but it's called yellow glass. And this was out over the holidays. And I do not think they have it out now. Do I think they're going to come back with it next Christmas? It may be. They come out with different glass all the time. And then they discontinue it, put it 50% off, and then 70% off. So keep your eye open at Michael's for their different glass that they come out during the holiday seasons. I'm not sure if Valentine's they'll have red again, and Easter they'll have a different color, but they are so pretty. The other way to do it would be to color it with your alcohol ink or with the different translucent spray paints that I've talked about in my other videos. So this is the Ashland Decorative Filler. It's just a silver reflective glass that you can paint, and it still retains its reflective qualities. It comes in a container like this. It says Ashland Decorative Filler on the top. And the specialty glass that comes out during the holidays is actually in a bag like this, and it's usually hanging on the end caps. And like I said, it will go to 70% off really quite quickly because they only have it out for the holidays. Now this is VITRIGRAPH glass that I'm using here. It's long strands of glass that I am cutting up to make the branch that the birds are going to have their little feet on, claws on. And I picked this up on Etsy. There's a few different vendors that sell this. It's about 4 ounces for $16, which sounds like a very small amount, but it really is quite a bit. It lasts a long time, and it comes in all different colors. And when I find what size I want, I nipped it to size with my nipping tool. And then next I get out my orange glass, and what I'm trying to cut up is beaks for the birds. So I have 2 birds on each project, so I need a total of 4 beaks. And this glass is really thick. I'm nipping away at it. Sometimes you can't, when they're that thick, sometimes you can't get it between the nippers. But anyway, so I'm trying to cut up 4 triangles for beaks. And with the Mod Podge project, I am actually going to glue it on the next day, because when you have bigger pieces of glass and Mod Podge, you're better off with some type of a more substantial glue if the piece is a little bit heavier. And as far as the resin goes, I'm going to put the resin on first and then put the beak in the resin, because especially on the red part, if you pour the resin over the beak on the red bird, it will it's going to blend in to begin with, but it'll even blend in more, because it always, when you pour resin over something, it makes it become more translucent, and it picks up the color underneath it. So it'll be kind of difficult to see to begin with, but pouring resin would make it more difficult. So I will put it on after the resin is on the small pieces of glass. And so here I am just putting them on the little bird so that you can see what they're going to look like with them on. And the eyes I'm not going to put on until the very end for the Mod Podge, and the resin ones I'll put on before I pour the resin on. So here I'm going to do the Mod Podge project first. And using the Mod Podge, I use half strength. I use 1 part Mod Podge to 1 part water. And I actually have it in the cup already because when you're done with your Mod Podge, if you have some extra, you don't have to toss it out. You can just pour it into a different container. And this is my extra Mod Podge container. So instead of mixing up new and wasting the old, I'm going to use the Mod Podge that was pre-mixed from before. So you set your canvas up on cups because you don't want it to, the Mod Podge is going to drip down and your project will stick to the paper if you don't put it up on cups. And then after I mix it up, the 1/2 strength Mod Podge, 1 part Mod Podge to 1 part water, I just start spooning it over the project. And I'm trying to be a little careful with this because I don't want the red to be floating in the Mod Podge and the red glass to go over into the yellow or the vice versa. So I'm just kind of carefully spooning it over, but you really want to saturate everything really well in order for it to stick. And after I get done with putting it on the glass, I start drizzling it over the letters. And remember, the letters are glued down underneath with the clear Elmer's glue. But I'm just putting a little Mod Podge over the top. And then I went ahead and let it sit for about 20 minutes without disturbing it at all. Just let everything soak in. Then I came back and I just started, this was after 20 minutes, and then I started just tipping the canvas and letting it drain out. And you have to be careful that you don't let the glass fall out, but I was able to tip it quite a bit. And sometimes you just have to prop something under it and let it sit there for a few minutes as the Mod Podge drains out. And I went around, I like these sponge brushes. I'm not really sure what you call them better than the regular brush. And this half-strength Mod Podge does not leave any brush marks at all. I find that the full-strength Mod Podge does, but the half-strength Mod Podge does not. And here I just keep on tipping it every which way and using my little sponge brush to smooth it out over it. And I was a little bit worried for a minute there because I shook this container up because this was existing half-strength Mod Podge, and when I poured it out, it had a lot of little bubbles in it, and all I could think of is with resin, when you get bubbles, you have to use the torch to get the bubbles out, and it can make the project look terrible, but it was fine. Nothing happened. So next we're moving on to the resin project, and you can see I have my 8x8 canvas, but I had also made up 2 more lovebirds on a resin heart. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, a resin heart, look at the video I did yesterday. I made up a resin heart ahead of time and did that with the resin and mica powders, no glass. So anyway, after I mixed up my resin, this is art resin, a 1-to-1 ratio resin that you mix for 3 minutes slowly in a cup. And I just went ahead and I drizzled it all over the glass. And I was just trying to get as little resin as I needed just to hold everything together. You got to have it touching everything. And then I went ahead and drizzled it over the Scrabble letters and drizzled it over the canvas. And remember, all those lovebirds letters were glued down, and that would have been a good idea for yesterday's project, was to glue them with clear Elmer's glue, because clear Elmer's glue is totally translucent when it dries. You wouldn't even see it underneath if you did it on glass. So after I put all the resin down, I kind of smoothed it out on the canvas, and I don't think I show this, but I do use the heat, my kitchen torch, to get rid of the bubbles, and and I do put the beaks on after I put the resin down. And you can see I put the little eyelashes on already, and I don't think I showed or explained how I did that. The eyelashes are actually 2mm rhinestone chains that I put for both of their eyelashes, and those were kind of a pain getting them on, but I felt they were easiest to put on before I put the resin on. And here I am putting the beaks into the existing resin because, like I said, I didn't want to pour the resin over the beaks, especially on that red bird, it would just disappear. So this has to sit on a flat level surface overnight. After 12 hours you should be able to touch it, and it takes a full 72 hours to cure at temperatures between 72 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. So next I had to finish up the MOD PODGE lovebirds, and I used this Lexil to attach the beaks to the lovebirds. And you could really use anything. You could even use Elmer's glue if you wanted, you know, full strength. I just didn't want to trust it with just the half-strength Mod Podge to hold the bigger pieces of glass. So I put the Lexil on the back of that, and then I took the VITRIGRAPH glass and drew the little claws holding on to the glass, or I guess it would simulate like a branch. And I'm not the best artist, but anyway, it looks okay. You could actually use like puff paint or that gallery glass paint. And then I put some Lexil behind that to hold that down too. And then next I took the 2mm black crystal chains. And you could probably even draw with a black magic marker the eyes on these lovebirds if you wanted to. And I took some Elmer's glue and just put it right over it, and that'll dry just like that, right in place. It'll be enough to hold it still. And then, oh, these chains were a pain trying to get them to hold still. And I put some little eyelashes then on the gold or the yellow bird. And again, put some clear Elmer's glue over the top just to hold them in place. And it was pretty much done. This Mod Podge really takes about 3 full days to dry. Hey everyone. So these are my little lovebirds, and this is, I think this freestanding one is so cute. Isn't that adorable? Well, it's not freestanding, it's sitting on this thing. I don't know why I called it that. Anyway, I think that is so cute, just like that. But anyway, you know, I did the two of them on the canvases today. And this one's the Mod Podge. See how pretty? And the iridescent paint that I put on it looks really nice. And then this is the resin one, which is equally as pretty. And they're both just, the glass is just as sparkly. Can you see that? So this one is a little bit shinier because of the resin on it, but I think they're both equally as pretty. The only thing that I probably would do different next time is I would make the red one a little lighter color, because the eyes and the beak are kind of difficult to see on them. So that's the only difference. But I think it still turned out cute. And I don't know, what do you guys think about them? Any suggestions or comments? Love to hear from you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, I wanted to tell you about the glass. So this glass here is glass from Michael's, and at different times of the year, they come out with different types of glass, especially for fall and Christmas. I don't know if they're gonna come out with a Valentine red or not, but this was actually came out around Christmas time. And then when it goes on sale, I mean, shortly after it comes out, within like 4 weeks, it goes to 50% off, and then it goes to 70% off. So for a bag this size, 1.5 pounds, 24 ounces, it's a little over $2. It's a deal. Normally it's $6.99, but when it goes to 70% off, it's a great deal. And so the glass that they carry all year round is this glass. It does not come in this container. It comes in a container that looks like this, Ashland decorative filler. And it's a real pretty, sparkly, silver reflective glass. And you can, if you can't get the specialty glasses that they have out, you can take this and you can use the TAMIYA translucent spray paint, or you can use the Krylon translucent spray paint. And you can only use the translucents, because if you use the regular spray paint, it will not retain its reflective qualities. That's why you have to use the translucent. And I do have a couple videos out on both of those. And you can use alcohol ink too. I've not really had problems with the alcohol ink fading from this type of glass, and I'm not sure why not. It does from other glass. So that's an idea if you can't get the specialty. But when you see this and you think it's pretty, get a couple of them when they go on sale, because they're really a good deal when they do go on sale. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you want to be notified of future videos, go ahead and subscribe. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.